Well, welcome back to the model railway, and let's see what's getting me wired up this time, because my controller has arrived back from Gauge Master and they said they couldn't find a fault on it, so let's see if it works. Quick safety disclaimer, there may be some foul language in this video. Yes, I now have a nice posh intro going up in the world, aren't we? Right, so I've got the controller back. Apparently Gauge Master said they couldn't find a fault on it, and it's just old. If you buy a Gauge Master controller, they do come with a what Gauge Master call a lifetime guarantee, but I think it only runs for, I want to say 35 years or something like that. And if they can find the spare part, they repair it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, as you can see, I don't know whether you can see on the camera, but the wires on all four of the actual electrical wires are quite frayed from being plugged in and out over the years. Bearing in mind I inherited this controller from my late neighbour next door. I don't actually know which way I need to point there because of the way the house faces. Cut a long story short, so I didn't really pay anything for it, it was just left to me. Well, he had a lot of model railway stuff that his daughters didn't know what to do, so I've inherited quite a lot of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and neaten the wires up. Then I am going to consult my my electrician of a father to try and help me out. So, see you in 5. Right, so I've done one of them. So as you can see, I've neatened the wire up so it'll be easier when I pop it into the socket, that I will be able to actually get some sort of electrical connection. So as you can see, that one's not too bad actually. So I might just leave those two, and then we move on to the second set. Obviously, the gentleman that's had it before me, I think he's probably done the same thing at some point, because all four wires seem to be different lengths, which personally I find that a little bit odd, but that's the only explanation. So we'll take the blue one. So first things first, we'll cut off the bit we don't need. Takes a couple of goes, obviously. You've got to bear in mind I'm working with probably a tool that's older than me, and I'm getting on a bit. I'm 22. Right, that bit's come off. And now take about 1 centimetre or so and just very, very lightly break the plastic and pull. And that didn't work. Sometimes it takes a couple of goes, bearing in mind I am by no means a professional at doing this. If you want a professional, look at the YouTube channel of anybody else but me doing this. When I say this is a how-to guide on how to build a model railway, this is by somebody who, hasn't been doing this a great length of time, and really is learning as I'm going. Alright, what I'm going to do is try a different tactic, and I'm going to cut around the plastic and use my fingers. That's a better option, isn't it? And just do, again, that one's a little bit knotted, so I don't think that's actually going to fit in the hole. Not like that. Unfortunately, doing this sort of thing is an ensemble of double entendre, which, as somebody who speaks French, means nothing whatsoever. You could say double entente, which means two meanings, but double entendre actually doesn't. There's a lot of phrases actually we use in the English language that actually don't derive from French at all. Ensuite being one of them doesn't mean anything. There we are, there's the plastic off. Right. Roll that up in a... I'll just go and pop that on something. Right, now we've just got to try and fit this into the controller. So what I'm going to do is this one that's a little bit wild here, I'm just going to do the old technique of twisting the electrical wires and seeing if this goes up. And by the way, if sort of the electrical wires, if the whole thing blows up and I'm killed, can you please make the video go viral? Oh, that went in a little bit easier than I thought. Really? Honestly, it's like watching some sort of carry-on film. And having met Sid James, they're not really as funny as you think. And yes, I know he would have died long before I was born, but, you know, I used to work near Sunderland Empire, and the actor died in the Empire, and his ghost's still there. But that's I could go on for hours and hours about stories about when I was a barman. I'm surprised there's not more Tales of the Barman type books, because they would sell. In fact, I might write one. Right, so I love how they've neatly done the cord up, which is, don't get me wrong, is lovely. Very nice my OCD, but it's trying to get the bally thing back out again. Right, so if I try and just hope that this reaches over to the plug socket, which is at the other side of the attic. There's too many wires and things. Might try and edit that bit out. And I don't think it's going to reach. So let's unplug what's in there, because it's not actually plugged into anything useful. And we're a couple of inches short. Bloody hell. Right. I'll be back with you in a minute. Right, apparently there's actually another socket in the attic that I didn't know about. So I've changed it, and when I'm turning the controller on, I can see a light coming on. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to reach over and grab my trusty little Gronk and just see and if you know, the loco hadn't tripped over a wire, it actually works. So there we have it. We have a controller that works. So that's the electrical testing section of these videos done. But because this video is going to be a little bit short, I'm actually going to include something at the end. It might be a running session or something, I don't know, but I'm going to do the rest of it off camera, and then we'll come back in a couple of minutes.